So, like, listen, we all know that Lord Larys is an asshole. He's very much the Littlefinger of this. He killed his brother, killed his father. He did it for power. But I'm thinking he's been doing a lot of this stuff just for feats to see, Queen Alicent's, her toes. And listen, I'm not trying to kink shame or fetish shame all of our kinks and things that we're into. But I'm like, everything this man has done, or a lot of things that this man has done, is based around this woman's feet. So, we are currently only, I think, like an hour or a half hour away from the final episode of House of the Dragon, one of HBO Max's most watched shows of all time. For Martin and myself, we're about 9 episodes deep so far, and kind of want to go over our general thoughts before we cover like certain highlights that I thought would really show off the quality of the show or some of the goofier aspects. Mm-hmm. But for myself, I was a little trepidatious about this series because Game of Thrones was so disappointing, particularly that last season. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was so rushed. It's just like, I don't want to get invested in this world again.
Just want to do that all over again.
Yeah. And, I was like, all right, let's see what you have. And then, several episodes deep, and I'm like, oh, wow, you got me back. Mm-hmm. And one, just because I feel like this series is just so much more focused. We're not going all across Westeros, all these different families. We're kind of keeping it focused on this one family.
It's easy to keep up with the characters this time.
Yeah, I remember their names. Most of their names at the very least. Most of the names. A lot of names. A lot of people.
They do have a lot of repeat names. So.
Yeah.
And even the ones they have sound so similar to each other.
They have Daemon and Dammon and Aegon and Aegon. I was like, all right, if you say so.
It's like, wow, the royal family, you guys are not very imaginative at all.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is Aegon the 15th. It's like, oh yeah, the 15th. All right, yeah. Keeping it simple. But I've liked it for these 9 episodes and these, evolving relationships, these devolving relationships, how these characters can just turn on each other quickly, backstab, being so vindictive. I mean, they're all flawed people. That's the other thing about this show. People have said, like, I have no one to cheer for. I kind of like that. That I'm like, yeah, okay, this person is, putting themselves at risk by having all these bastard children, and, people might not support them because but then this guy's a rapist and he's just not suited. And I'm like, but then they have this guy that could support him, and he's bad. I'm like, I don't know where we're going here. I don't know who to support. That makes it interesting because that makes it fun to follow. Because I'm like, oh wow, yeah, who does deserve this? Does anyone really deserves it?
No. Well, when we start getting into the last bit of Game of Thrones, it was I'm not rooting for anybody to have this throne.
Yeah, I guess so.
And all of y'all would do a bad job.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, that's a good point. But I like that right at the offset. It's like, yeah, it just shows that all these people are flawed. Mm-hmm. And maybe they're not worthy. At this point, we're just kind of like, okay, who would be best? Yeah. At the end of the day. And maybe they'll be good at this, they'll be bad at that. But I like that about the show.
You go along, you really don't know what's going to happen in the next episode. Mm-hmm. Especially when they start doing the time jumps.
Oh yeah, sure.
And bold move to replace the actresses rather than try to age them up with horrible makeup.
Yeah.
Or age them down with whatever technology. But it's funny because there is that whole, I don't have a clear person to root for. Mm-hmm. Everybody has done something shitty to somebody else.
Yep.
The only person who hasn't was Viserys the king. And just from episode 1, you're like, this guy's just not gonna make it.
Yeah, no. And spoilers, he didn't. He tried though.
He really did. A long time. I figured by episode 3 he was gonna be dead.
That was it.
And he just kept coming back, looking more and more dead.
Look like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
It's a living corpse.
I'm still alive. Didn't think I would be. No, I love that.
But I was like, well, I guess if I was surrounded by these people, I would prematurely age.
They would age. Yeah, I feel like because I was like, okay, how old is actually Viserys? Mm. And I looked it up, and he's 52.
That's what I figured
when he dies. Like, oh, but he has some type of he has leprosy.
Yeah,
that's why he's rotting and things like that. And I want to talk about a number of his scenes. But anything else you wanted to say before we jump into some?
Oh yeah, no. I love the show Succession. Mm-hmm. But some people have trouble getting into it because they're like, well, everybody's horrible. I don't have anybody to root for. Mm-hmm. And I'm always like, but the writing's so good. And even I got Corey on it, but then he was like, I had to stop because I didn't like watching rich people be shitty to each other. But I watch House of the Dragon. I was like, it's the same show.
But you have dragons.
They have dragons. That's the only difference.
Yeah. That's a good point. I wanted to start with the most important scene, I feel like, of the series. And it put a lot of things in perspective, I feel like, for myself and possibly for Martin. I think maybe for other people. But let's go ahead and get to this first scene, what I feel like everyone is talking about, and for good reason.
There is a web of spies at work in the...
Oh, yes. Doing it for the feats. Now, listen, if I have any moment in this show that I'm like, I'm saying, oh, come on. It's this one. Like, listen, we all know that Lord Larys is an asshole. He's very much the little finger of this. He killed his brother, killed his father. He did it for power. But I'm thinking he's been doing a lot of this stuff just for feats to see, Queen Alicent's, her toes. And listen, I'm not trying to kink shame or fetish shame all of our kinks and things that we're into. But I'm like, everything this man has done, or a lot of things that this man has done, is based around this woman's feet. I was when we got to this scene, I was laughing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, here we go. I gotta keep showing.
No matter how much you're into the show, this pops you right out. You're like, wait, what?
Whoa!
I mean, I know I've seen incest in every episode and just the height of human cruelty, but what is going on right now?
To me, this felt like the writers went, all right, we got to make this guy even creepier.
Right.
Let's give him a foot fetish. Give him what Tarantino is always focused on his movies, all right? But yeah, I mean, come on. Put him in focus and everything. People in the chat are saying, yep, we have Otto, he's the hand, and Queen Alicent, she's the feet. It just felt like, all right, we got to make him creepy again. Creepier. And so let's give me about foot fetish. And I was like, all right, sure, we'll go with that. But I want to get to some of the more dramatic scenes in the episode. And you brought up King Viserys, and this not the penultimate, but episode 8 is probably like my favorite episode of this season. And so much because of Paddy Constantine's performance of King Viserys. It's a character I'm thinking like, all right, I mean, I like him. He seems to be, he's flawed. And he doesn't feel like he's right for the throne at all. And he's barely keeping together, literally. Yeah. And also just his family and the realm itself. But you didn't realize it's like, because of his temperament, that's why things have been as good as they have been. Because had someone else been on the throne, whether it been any of these other characters, whether it been his brother, who I'm constantly going back and forth between, like, it could have been chaos.
Yeah. Because Daemon is, he is an agent of chaos.
He is.
And he doesn't give a shit about anything or anybody.
Yeah. But with Viserys, I mean, it's crazy to think like this character we all were very dismissive of originally is one of the better people in this. He has his flaws, but like this moment, like this walk, and there's actually some improv in this scene, which I read about. I was like, oh wow, I had no idea. But yeah, just to play a little bit of this because I think it's very impressive.
Why did it have to be so far?
It's the longest walk. I felt so bad for him, but at the same time, I was like, wow, I have such a renewed appreciation for this character. And then later on, there's this scene where he's like, I'm fine, don't touch me. I can do it myself. But there's a scene with Matt Smith that I thought was brilliant as he's trying to ascend the throne right here. Oh, Jesus. That whole scene where his crown falls off and Matt Smith comes over and helps him up, it was all improvised.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And I was like, wow, what an opportunity to do that. And to kind of, seal the rift between these two brothers that have been going back and forth. And Viserys has tried to reach out to Daemon, and Daemon's just like, I want to stand on my own. I don't need you. And then that point, he's like, okay, I gotta be there for my brother. Yeah, I thought that was great. Like, yes, Daemon's there for his own selfish reasons. Rhaenyra's there for his own selfish reasons. Everyone's there.
He has his moments.
He has his moment. Yeah, it's like, again, he's complicated, like everyone else in the show. That's what I love about it. But and plus, there's another. I wish I had the clip for it. But you have our guy here, which I thought he got done dirty in this. Let me see if I can find him. All right, the brother of Corlys, who's there to press his claim, and he's like, I should be the ruler of Driftmark, and he's right. He is right. He just talks too much.
We didn't know when to shut up, but also there's no reason why. I get mixed up on the name. Eve Best. What's her character?
Rhaenys? Princess Rhaenys. Yeah.
There's no reason why she shouldn't be the ruler.
Oh, she should be. Oh, she should be the ruler of everything. She's the best suited out of anybody.
Right. Yeah. But at least of Driftmark, him coming in going, my brother this and my brother that. And
Martin, it's a man's world.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, he didn't know when to shut up or to keep it down or, work subtly.
All right. Or don't speak truths. This is what he did. Yeah. And I have to give it to him. He had a great moment because that's been his problem. He talks too much. He's hot-headed, and he's always spoken his mind. And it felt very cathartic for this character to say, those are bastards, and she is a whore. When that's all Daemon is. That's all the Viserys. Kill him.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I think he did. He's like, I think he knew, I'm not getting out of this no matter what I say, because someone's going to try to kill me. So I'm going to say what everyone just is refusing to say. And I love that. No, get all the props to that actor. He sold that scene. He did a really, really good job. But then after that wonderful execution. But then we have a nice family dinner afterwards. And again, we get another beautiful moment with Viserys. God damn, I just sit down to dinner. We're going to eat.
Yeah, can we eat first?
No, speech, and then you may eat.
Your grandsire, who may not, it seems, walk for much longer among you.
Yeah, this entire moment, this speech, it's his last thing where he tries to, seal the rift between his members of his family. And for that moment, he does.
Yeah.
At least some of the characters. There's a couple. There's maybe one or two that are just can't let this die.
If the adults hadn't been so shitty to each other, their kids wouldn't have been so bad.
That's true. Yeah, they're paying for the sins of their parents. And they didn't even know why they're angry at each other. I mean, other than the whole bastards thing, but still. But I like that. Like that one moment where people are dancing, they're talking, they're laughing, they're all talking to each other. Seemingly Queen Alicent and Princess Rhaenyra are
mending their friend. They're remembering that they used to be friends.
Yeah.
And they're getting that back together.
Come visit. We got to head back, but come visit. And she's like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll fly back on my drag. We can talk. I was like, here we go. But one of my new favorite. I love this guy because he is Daemon Jr. he is Daemon Jr. And that is Aemond. Aemond One Eye, they're calling him. We saw in the last episode, he got a dragon, but for that dragon, he had to lose an eye. But this whole scene here where he was just waiting for someone in excuses to talk some shit, but he waited for his dad to leave. But I love this scene here.
It was only a compliment. Do you not think yourself strong?
Hello, me. I cannot wait when these two square off.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen at some point because they're so similar to each other.
True.
They're both the second brother. And they feel like they should have been king.
Oh, that's true.
And in some ways, they're more competent than their brother, but they're also hinged.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love that part. Plus, I just like this. I don't know who plays Aemond, this actor. He just I like how he speaks. He has this tick that he does. I'm kind of at each and every sentence, this is something interesting.
He's always like
this. I said what needed to be said, mother. He's like little duck lips.
Martha's always a little parted.
Yeah. Oh my God. Nailed it. Exactly. So I just love that whole scene between him. And again, and it was literally moments ago. Everyone's having a good time.
Everybody's having a good time.
It's no,
not on my watch.
Yeah, I love that reference to saying Strong. That's who their father was. Sir Strong, Harwin Strong. Love that moment. And then we got to the next episode where finally King Viserys dies, and because he is under the influence of drugs and his leprosy, he thinks he's still talking to his daughter talking about Aegon's dream. He's not even referring to his son Aegon. And Queen Alicent, she's like, You want Aegon to be king, right? Okay, that's all. You said Aegon. That means he wants to be king. She heard what you wanted to hear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is they keep reusing the same names over and over.
That's true. It's a good point.
And as much as Allison would be like, well, he said it. If it was the other way, where he had already named her son, Aegon is king, and then said, no, it should be my daughter Rhaenyra, she would have totally been like, oh, he didn't mean that. No, it was the drugs.
It was the milk of the puppy he was under, whatever the hell they use. Yeah. No, and it sets in motion this fairly contained penultimate episode. We're only with the I guess the Greens. I guess that's how they have the Blacks, which is Rhaenyra's, division, her family, and they have the Greens, which is Alicent's and all that. And it's mostly we just focus on that with trying to find Aegon because he's so incompetent, he's so drunk, and he's everything with two legs in King's Landing. He's multiple bastards.
And he's very vocal, like, I don't want to be the king.
Yeah.
Please leave me out.
I'm ill-suited. It was like, I agree.
Just let me be Prince fuck up and do whatever I want to do.
But then, hey man, he hears that crowd. He can't help himself. He starts to get into it. But we have the climactic finish of this episode. I want to get your opinion on this because even though I thought it was cool, I'm like, this is kind of behold your savior who just killed a whole bunch of you. Listen, this is it's a great moment. It's well shot. I love it's epic for the Rhaenys character. That was really cool. Man, she killed a lot of some innocent people in this episode. But again, it shows you all these people are just they all have their flaws and they're all murderers. And they all do selfish things. But what did you think of the scene? Because this has been a big controversy for people.
What happens here, or at least right after where you cut it off, is my least favorite thing in the entire series.
Because she could have killed everybody.
Yeah, and I always watch the afterwards where the creators talk about what they were doing. But it's that she did all that to bust in there, and stepped on or killed a bunch of innocent people, just to look at them. To where she has that moment where she told a dragon fire, it would have wiped out all of them, and it actually would have solved all the problems, and prevented a coming war and all the bloodshed that's coming from that. But their whole thing was, well, she looks over and she's a mother and she sees a mother, and so she can't do it. And I'm like, that is the weakest, most sexist shit I've ever heard, and they do this all the time. Where somebody is about to accomplish the mission they set out to do. Oh, but I connected because you have a kid, so I didn't do it. But especially because she's a mother, the kind of thing where people will go like, well, yeah, as a mother, I guess. I was like, this is bullshit. You've weakened her, just for this stupid narrative. Like it says, well, a woman or a mother can't. When it comes down to it, they can't make the hard decisions.
Yeah, it just felt like to me we wanted just a cool moment where she's sitting on the dragon looking like a badass and is like, I could kill you, but I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to go away. I'm going to fly away. And
I'm going to go tell Rhaenyra what you're doing.
And in that case, it's just if you just have her just fly away in general. Don't have that whole conversation where she's moving around. She's like, I'm going to get the out of here. And I think that would have been better had she just burst out and flew in up into the dragon pit area, whatever the hell we are, and just flew. I was like, I got to get out of here because I might be killed. Now I'm like, I think we would have been like, oh yeah, you got to escape. Do what you got to do. But that moment, that whole pause and everything, and you're right, that whole mother to mother. It's like, give me a break. Exactly. Because there are thousands, tens of thousands of people are going to die very, very soon. There's no doubt. They're in that second season.
One of them, and it's not like they're going to go like, well, you spared us the last time, so you get a pass. It's like, no.
These people are they're going to come for you. It's going to happen. I bet that's what we're going to see in the next episode. But other than that moment, which, I agree. I think that's probably the weakest moment, and the feet. The feet was fun.
It's a week later. I still don't know how to feel about it because it's so jarring and it's so out of nowhere. But I was like, well, it does. I guess it does give the character some more dimension, not in a good way though. But
it's always a foot fetish. Hey, they have feet fetishes in Westeros. There you go. Okay, expanding the world. I appreciate that. But this scene is like, they do it a different way. Do it a different way. And I think would have been just have her escape. Just get out of there.
Even the creator saying like, yeah, maybe she's a mother, and I know there's gonna be some controversy about that. It's like, you goddamn right.
Yeah. She has a vagina. She has a vagina too. Yeah, they understand. They understand. They from pooped out babies. Yeah. So that was a weak moment. But other than that, I've really enjoyed the show. I'm excited for the finale, which I'm sure is happening right now. It got leaked. People have been some stuff already got spoiled for me because I couldn't avoid it because YouTube. Yeah, those descriptions, but they do this character kills this character. I'm like, come on, don't do that. But that's what happened. So I want to see how it at least plays out. Sure, because I'm like, holy shit, that's not going to be good. But in any case, any final thoughts on the show so far? I know it kind of ended on a negative note with that scene. It was just an episode.
Well, just how it is. No, it's I feel like throughout it all, like Rhaenyra's been the character to root for the most, but even her having all those children,
the bastard children,
with the bastard children. And just, parading around with them and all. I've just been so like, girl, what are you doing? Yeah. You know these people. Why are you doing this?
You're endangering them. You're endangering yourself and other people that ally with you. Because our guy, Vaemon, Valerian, Corlys's brother. He spoke the truth. I mean, he's right, and people are going to be talking about that way forever until he got killed for it. But then there are going to be so many other people that are going to be talking about that,
especially when it's a whole. Okay, if you're going to have bastard children, people are going to talk, it's not a big deal. Or maybe they'll just go, whatever, you live your life. But when they're in line for the throne, it's just too much going on for you to be
so easygoing about it, so blatant with it.
Yeah, so blatant.
It's like, did you not think this through? The thing is, she watched a lot. That's what it was, and we all like to. And she's like, well, why can't all these men have bastards and be fine? Well, I can. It's like, good point. But, you're in line for the throne. A lot of people could die.
And you might want to hook up with somebody who sort of looks like your husband.
She has a type, man. She likes dark, tall, brown-haired boys. That is her thing. That is other than her uncle. I really enjoyed this season. I think it's great. Good return to form. I gotta say,
I'm not going to be satisfied until I see Sir Christian die.
Oh, he's such a son of a bitch.
Yeah. Such a hypocritical son of a bitch.
Oh, I know. Yeah, now he's all holier than thou. Like, even that most recent episode, it's like, oh, women are to be revered. Like, you were. Give me a break. You were to leave all your honor behind just to be with this one woman and go.
Yeah, exactly. All his vows, all his honor thrown away, and then let's you and I run away. It got sprung. You're like, no,
no. It's an immature view.
Yeah. And then like, well. We'll see about that.
I'm just going to randomly kill someone and get away with it. Yeah. And he killed someone again this recently, that old man, Sir Lordsbury, where the hell his name was, who you think is half dead, but he's like, no, I know the king, and I've known longer than you, and he would have told us all this. And he's like, sit down, he murdered that guy. Yep. And I was like, this guy's got to go. He the littlest thing sets him off, and something like that. You already have enough hot-headed people in your division. Can't have something like that, but he's loyal, I suppose. But
he's loyal until he's not.
Until he's not, until he doesn't find you useful anymore. So I'm sure he'll turn on Queen Alicent eventually.
At some point, when she spurns him over something or does something that he doesn't approve of.
Yeah. No, I agree. Any other characters you wanted to mention before we wrap it? Because that's pretty much everyone. I mean, I just really want, I don't think we're going to get to it, but just see more Daemon and Aemond going at each other, because they haven't even said anything, but it's just that look, or one's looking, the other one's like this. But, they were looking, I imagine. It's really cool. And so now this season was a build up to the war. But then we have to wait 2 years.
Oh, for the next one?
2024 is when we're going to get, it's expensive shows. But plus people have different contracts, and so it's all over the place. But I'm looking forward to it. I think we're both looking forward to it, despite some of its flaws.
It was good. Yeah, for sure.